Hello. Okay, so we're back with some more One Angry Gamer, and this time it's about Runescape, a game that I still kind of play sometimes. I don't know much of the political leaning of the company that owns Runescape, but I think with this article I will find out that they probably go left. But let's go on. Let's go on with the article. Okay, the company is falling further down the hole of being an anti-gamer and anti-freedom of speech. This time, they have updated RuneScape with a hard filter for chat that censors words and phrases regardless of your profanity filter settings. I didn't know that there was settings for profanity. I always assumed that all curse words were banned, but I guess not. And okay. And as far as hard filter, I'm assuming that means that you can't turn it off. Because I would want to turn it off, but I'm assuming you can't. The news was posted on the official website on that day. We have now added additional hard filtering for a number of hateful words and phrases to our chat filter. When these words are used, they will be censored regardless of your settings. They have no place in the world that they set under any but what words. I imagine him going on. Is this Billy again? Yep. Is he the only one that writes this stuff here? I'd like to write an article. I think it would be cool. I imagine centrists and communists will praise the company for implementing on the right side of gamers. No. So much so that even the language that you're okay with is now being infringed upon. I never talk in RuneScape. I just play the game, but I understand for those who want to be social. And I imagine it might be a small number. Yeah, I imagine it might be a small number, but I imagine that there are people in RuneScape, either being friends who met purely on RuneScape, or those who are distant and playing RuneScape together. And I imagine that, well, actually, that may not be a small amount, but with those people, I imagine that there would be a small amount then that like to talk about politics, why they are fishing or getting ore, or any of those actions where you can just let the game do it. But I imagine that there is a small group of people who probably talk about politics on RuneScape. And then they probably don't kill each other because they're not crazy. Okay. Okay. But you can't expect cultural imperialists, to understand nuance or have empathy. I can't say it. For different cultures. The company, however, went on to reiterate their support for BLM and the money they donated to the organization. Oh yeah, I think I was playing when they was trying to raise money, and they had a big thing saying, "We raise this much money, and every dollar you give, we give another," or maybe it was all of the sun element thing that you give, we give another dollar. I don't quite remember how it was. I don't remember if it was connected to the game at all, or if it was just them having a fundraiser. But yeah, I do remember seeing something in the game itself. Money they donated to the organizations that are currently funding and enabling riots, violence, vandalism, murder, and domestic terrorism across the USA. This act of treason netted the company a healthy spot on the Traitors of America master list. Yeah, I'm probably still going to play RuneScape, sadly, because I've had the Steam account since I was 14, and I kind of don't want to stop it. I don't want to delete it. Okay. In any case, the company decided to spoil any kind of freedom of choice players might have with the chat filter options by hard filtering words and writing. Okay. In February of 2011, okay, that's quite a while ago, we introduced the option to turn off the chat filter that had been in place for a decade, and I think that's good because not everybody that plays RuneScape are kids. There are probably plenty of adults that play RuneScape, and because you are an adult, you should have the option. You should have the option to read bad words if you want to, or even to write bad words. I mean, I don't think you should if you're a kid, but yeah. We hope this choice would give players the opportunity to more freely express themselves, but sadly, offensive language and behavior, despite being against the rules, has remained. Though people curse, people cuss, same thing. But yeah, but it's like, why? So to start with, we're going to hard filter a number of hateful words and phrases. This means that some words will be censored regardless of the filter. The banned words and phrases, yeah, already read that. But what specific words and phrases are they banning? I imagine white power is probably banned, but I imagine black power is not banned. We know the filter isn't perfect, and we know it won't solve toxic within our community, but it's a good place to start. No, it's not. We will be monitoring your reports and feedback, and we'll share more as this at this juncture. Censorship is too widespread to stop. Cultural Marxists now control all major forms of media and entertainment. Yep, Hollywood has always been red, and the censorship will continue to spread far and wide. There's no end in sight. Freedom is now on the fringes, and it's just a matter of time before every game you love and enjoy will be banished under the yoke of the communist agenda. You lose. Yeah, that's sad. I mean, like I said, I never talk in RuneScape, so I didn't know that there was even a filter that you can turn on and off. So as far as that, it doesn't. I guess the best way to say it is that as far as having a hard filter, it doesn't affect me because I honestly don't talk at all in RuneScape. But I know that it will. Oh, excuse me. I'm bumping. But I know that it would affect other people. Like I said, there are probably groups of people who play RuneScape who only get to meet in RuneScape. And those people, you are taking away their ability to talk freely to one another. Yes, you can say that they don't have to curse, they don't have to say bad words, but because of how how was I going to say it? But because of how the left is when it comes to words being said, it's kind of like Facebook, where you honestly don't know. You don't truly know what you can say and what you can't. And so in the end, everything's going to be banned. But because of a hard filter of certain things being not said, I imagine that there will probably be a lot of things on there that we can agree that shouldn't be said. But at the same time, they need to be said, because the only way that those bad ideals can be counteracted is if the words for the ideal can be said and countered, can be debated. And like I brought up earlier, I imagine it's probably only a small group of people, but I imagine that there are those on RuneScape who talk politics. And because certain things can't be said, you won't have the ability to talk about politics. I know, I just thought of it, but I know an argument that could be brought up is that if you are one of those people, you could simply just go to Facebook and message back and forth. Yes, but if you choose to talk and meet up in RuneScape, you should have the choice to be able to meet up in RuneScape and talk about what you want. And this hard filter is taking that away. I think one of the things they said is that they turned the filter on, so turned it off so that you can more freely express yourself. Well, they just said by turning a hard filter on, you can't express yourself freely. Just like I said earlier. Now I might be going in a circle a little bit, but how was I going to say it? But with removing with removing words at all, any words at all, words and phrases at all, it makes it so that you can't express yourself freely. And before I go into a circle again, I will say thank you for watching. Hopefully you have a good day. And if you like the video, if you like the video, then give it a like. If you didn't like the video, then give it a dislike, or whatever the equivalent is, wherever you find the video. And with that, I hope that you give some comments to tell me how to make this better, and that you also tell me some other places or specific news, or specific articles for me to talk about. And without going on more and more, because I like to talk, or I talk a whole bunch, whatever, thank you, and I bid you adieu.